We'll start recording. There's a mic here that'll pick you up as long as you're anywhere around.
Okay.
It's quite sensitive. And there's this thing. So I'll just shove this out of the way and give it to you. I appreciate you coming.
Okay, thank you. Disclaimer, I'm from IBM. And thank you for wearing the IBM t-shirt today.
Okay.
I should have worn mine too.
Yeah. Well, let me turn off the sound for these guys.
Okay, so my name's Lillian. I used to come to City College, so I'm really excited. I graduated from San Francisco State University. I went to high school here in San Francisco as well. Came to City College to take summer classes, so I love this place. Very excited to be back. So I actually work at IBM for many years.
The bottom right is the slide player.
Why?
Yeah, that's like
Well, that thing. Yeah, here, let me get rid of this.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to play these slides, it's down here someplace.
Okay.
There.
Oh, cool. Thank you. So my slide, I have my email address, and I currently work at Watson Health Consulting Services at IBM. And I like to share some of my experience at the workplace with everyone. Hopefully you will find it useful for your career and your study, hopefully. So, so here's the agenda. So I'm going to talk a little bit about IBM and AI, also IBM Watson and Watson Health, Watson Healthcare Group that is pretty new at IBM. And I'm going to share with you about my career journey at IBM. And I will share some of my advices based on my own experience. And I'm going to talk about the future of jobs. I know that, people perceive AI in different ways. There's always like someone who's super nervous and some people that are very receptive and very open. So I want to, have a discussion about what I thought, and hopefully we can also discuss together and see what you guys think. And then I'm gonna give a short reference as well as at the end Q&A. And please feel free to stop me if you have any questions during my talk. So IBM, anyone can guess how old is IBM? Can anyone guess?
No.
It's actually IBM started, well, I think we are like 107 years old. 107 years old. I think in 2011, IBM had a 100 years anniversary. So, I'm not a historian about IBM, so you guys can Google it. But the AI, IBM started working on AI in 1950s. I think it's probably when in academia started to work on AI. So it was a long time ago. And so by AI, artificial intelligence, we mean anything that makes machine act more intelligently. Our work includes basic and applied research in machine learning, deep question answering, search and planning, knowledge representation, and cognitive architecture. I am by no means an expert in AI, but I can share with you my experience in the IBM Watson Group. So some of the timelines that you may or may not know about IBM's AI debut. So one of them is very exciting. In 1997, Deep Blue is a IBM chess machine that defeated the world chess champion in a six-game match. And then in 2011, Watson question and answering computer system competed on the Jeopardy game show against former two champions. And then we won the first prize. And so some of the keywords that I want to list here is natural language understanding. Because I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jeopardy. The game show to me is really complicated. It's like the machine actually need to understand verbal, like sentences, right? So in the traditional computer systems, so we use database to retrieve information very quickly. But now we're talking about understanding natural language from our conversation. So that is something I think is really, really exciting. So Deep QA, it was a technology in 2011. Right now, there are something new. You know, Google has something called deep learning, and then there is something newer now that is called evolutionary learning. So deep learning is like they talk about a machine can, you can feed in a whole bunch of information and the machine can learn by itself. So that's deep learning, right? But evolutionary learning is something that's really brand new that I heard from a friend, that the machine can actually invent. It's not only about learning, it's about invention. So that's why, you know, my topic is like, my subject is like, it's a brave new world here that we are facing. But I think it's really exciting. So I did some research before when I was working on this presentation. And actually last year, IBM advocating that AI should stand for augmented intelligence or intelligence augmentation instead of artificial intelligence, which is the traditional way to, which is like many, many years ago, people have been calling it. Why is that? Because we are focusing on a system that is designed to enhance human capabilities, but not designed to replace human. So we are working on many different tools to help people in the industry to do their work better. For example, for people in IT security, to protect the system better, or people in medical healthcare to be able to understand a lot of current research papers and help cure patients faster. So this is actually our goal for AI as a company, and which I totally agree. I mean, I personally don't want to build something that will replace human. So, so that's a peace of mind for me for now. So a little bit of timeline about IBM Watson. In 2014, IBM used Watson technology to build a group. Actually, I joined Watson in 2014. I was really excited, even though I didn't watch the game show. But I thought, wow, this is actually the holy grail of computing. So I wanted to see how, you know, what it is and how do they make it work. So, and I was really fortunate to be able to join the team in September, but that 2014 was when they built Watson Group using the core people that built question answering, Jeopardy, Watson, and then we expanded to build many different applications in different areas. And then our group split into Watson Healthcare, because when we joined, we didn't really want to work on social media per se. So we're like, oh, let's focus on, something that's more meaningful. And at that time, we already have some pretty mature product. I can show you later in the slide. So then we joined a team that specifically focused on healthcare. And actually, in our team, we have not only people that are in technology, we also have professionals like doctors, registered nurses, and professionals that are in the field to work with us, to do the transformation with us, with the clients. So it's really, really exciting when we join and start working on this technology. So here are just a small set of Watson Healthcare products that we have, just an example. So we have Watson for Oncology. It's a computer system that will help doctors to provide clinical care for cancer patients. So I was very fortunate to be working on the project when I started, and I was really excited, and I would like to share this video with you guys. It's a very short video. It was made by our business partner, Memorial Sloan Kettering. They are one of the top cancer care clinic in the US, and they are actually teaching Watson to provide cancer treatment advice for the doctors. So this is something that I'm really excited about, so I'd like to share. It's a very short and hopefully.
Should have sound.
Okay, so I'm not able to see that.
Oh, yeah. So to do a PowerPoint thing, it's just not take PowerPoint out of full screen. All right. This. Yeah. I should be able to.
Sloan Kettering is one of America's first cancer centers, and our mission is to care for people, but also, as part of the process, always looking to find a better way to do things. But the massive amount of data that we collect is difficult for any one person to analyze. So having the information and the wisdom at your fingertips is going to basically make every doctor the most experienced doctor in the world for taking care of that particular problem. The partnership between Memorial Sloan Kettering and IBM Watson is really at the forefront of our ability to deliver evidence-based medicine through analytic approaches to understanding cancer as a disease. What our role is that we are MSK Watson's teacher. And just like we would teach a trainee in medical oncology or surgical oncology, we're teaching the MSK Watson system. One of the ways that IBM Watson won Jeopardy was that it was fed in a lot of prior Jeopardy questions and answers, and it learned the correct way to answer those. In essence, MSK Watson does the same thing, but the information we're feeding into it is how Memorial Sloan Kettering doctors treated Memorial Sloan Kettering patients. Watson's capability to analyze huge volumes of data and reduce it down to critical decision points is actually essential to improve on our ability to deliver effective therapies and to actually disseminate that information to the world. It has access to research, it's taught by specialists, it's also taught by the experience of
the patients treated at specialty centers like ours. Watson learns from those cases and gives you a list of choices really chosen for you, which is something we never had access to before.
I think this is beyond an evolutionary step. I think this is a revolutionary step. This has the potential of totally changing the way we conduct medicine.
We need to get our best to other doctors so that patients everywhere can take benefit from that.
Will allow us to design treatment programs and also ways to follow patients that avoid over-testing and to more effectively use a treatment to personalize their therapy.
I'd like to say that there's two parts of any medical problem. There's the biology and there's everything else. What Watson's going to be able to give us is the everything else part, and that's going to make a total comprehensive package that's going to improve results worldwide.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, so we also have products that are called clinical trial matching. We use Watson technology to help patients to match their disease with the clinical trial. So it's really good technology to be helping patients in healthcare. Also, we work on applications for human services. So some of the proof of concepts that we worked on are using the Watson technologies to help social program case workers to process a whole bunch of clients' clinical notes, not clinical, but when clients comes in, they say, oh, I have this need, I'm homeless, or I'm unemployed. So they would come and talk to the caseworker, and the caseworkers take notes. And then over the years, right, one client can have years and years of notes, and it could be difficult for caseworkers to filter through all of these notes to identify what is this person's risk. So we can use Watson to help and empower the caseworkers for them to help these clients faster.
So, sorry, can I ask a question?
Sure.
It's really fascinating.
Uh-huh.
And I also got involved with health data
Okay.
a little bit. So you're saying like Watson, it's pretty much like the front end,
Mm-hmm.
and you proof of concept, you work with whichever local agency that
Mm-hmm.
you tailor it to, and then you parse the data back to their choices of the back end, or is the IBM actually have a complete package? And
We do have a complete package. That's what we do, the consulting services and implementation team. So there are many different Watsons. Watson, you feed in different type of information. That Watson is for that particular domain, right? So, but Watson, you need to specialize for a particular agency, like you said. So we would work with individual agencies to customize the Watson for those agencies, for social program or different hospital. Because we work with hospitals around the world. We work with hospitals in Thailand, in South America. So every location, we localize those treatments for the local people, because they may have different types of medicine for healthcare, for cancer care, and they may have different types of treatment. So I think one of the really intriguing thing I found out through working on Watson for Healthcare is we actually enabled different doctors around the world to get together and talk about treatments. And then we teach Watson the best of the solutions. So we are like a inducer, like we mobilize all of the doctors to be communicating with each other to find a better treatment. And you are correct that that there is a Watson for financial services and there's a Watson for education, right? So yeah,
So-
go ahead.
Another follow-up is like, so Watson's more than just an analytic. It
No,
has
no,
this,
yeah.
it has this, I guess, this AI capability.
Yeah.
I mean, I see things like, for example, fuzzy logic,
Uh-huh.
when they, that's in like analytic
Mhm.
or something similar, but it's actually referred to the same patient.
Uh-huh.
And then so is Watson smart enough to enhance it, not only pick up the right data, filter out the bad data.
Right. So, so Watson is not for you and I to use. Watson is a tool for oncologists, right? So the doctors are there. They have access to this tool. Doctors who are registered nurse, and we cannot access Watson because we have no medical knowledge to understand whether Watson made a mistake or whether this is the correct treatment plan, right? So it's a tool for oncologists. And when I was doing this, working on the presentation, there was a news that I read that Watson is now, the Watson for oncology is now 90% accuracy. So, it's like if you're a student, right? 90% is kind of an A, right?
It's very good.
So, yeah, it was done, the research was done by a hospital who is also a client in India. So it was a paper that they published. Watson learned over time, and we constantly feed new medical documents into it for it to make the latest diagnostic and treatment treatment options, recommendation. So it also Watson can connect to EMR system. So every hospital has an EMR to record the patient data. So we connected with the patient, the cancer patient's EMR to help make the diagnostic faster. So of course the doctor need to be there to say, oh, this is right, this is wrong, I have a better chance. And then every time they make a correction, you will teach Watson the better answer. So that's a good question. So right now I'm working on these two, Watson for life science, and so Watson for patient safety and drug discovery. We work with actually drug manufacturers on different Watson projects to help them whether to do research on new drugs or understanding reporting of the adverse events of the drugs. So, okay, so I just want to talk a little bit about myself, hopefully not too much to bore you. So, like I said, I graduated from San Francisco State, and I worked at Sun Microsystems to do internship, and it was really interesting because at the same time I got the offer from Sun, I also got an offer from Oracle. And guess what happened right now? So Oracle bought Sun. So anyway, after I graduated, I wanted to do development, so I was offered a job at IBM AIX Systems Management Group in Austin, Texas. So I moved to Texas, lived in Austin for 4 years, and best 4 years of my life as in my career. Really happy, graduate, nothing to complain about. So then I was homesick after a few years, then I found another job within IBM in software group, which is really different from operating systems. Software group, which is a little bit more client-facing. So I was in the master data management group. I totally different job. I was a technical support engineer. And then I became the team lead for North America. And then at the same time, I did many different things because I get bored really easily. So I tried many different things. I learned about export regulation. And then I also did a lot of event planning for the Vitality Council, as well as the Asian American community. So then 2014, I got really antsy because I was in the same job for too long, and I was looking for some place to go, and I wanted to, and then I was really lucky at the time. Watson was recruiting, and very luckily I got a job. And yeah, my first job with Watson was the Watson for Oncology Early Evaluation Program Manager. And then I also did a lot of software engineering, development, testing, as well as analysis. And then the next year we got moved. We have a brand new organization created, Watson Healthcare. And then we moved to Watson Healthcare. Okay, so from my own opinion, some of my career advice. First and foremost, I think for anyone in any industry, ethic and critical thinking skill. Actually, critical thinking was one of my favorite classes in school. Why is that so important, right? Think about if you have all these tools, artificial intelligence tools, all of these cybersecurity tools that anyone can use to hack into different systems. We really need to know what is the right thing to do. What is the right thing to do for mankind, right? You want to be in something that is at the good side of mankind. So I think I put that as the first, as my humble opinion. So the second one, do well in school and work hard. And so this is coming out of my grandma's playbook. Ever since I was little, she'd always tell me to work really hard in school and stay in school. And I think so far it served me well. And also, once you get to work, don't think that, that's it. That's just the beginning. And you have to work hard. You always have to work hard to prove yourself anyways, no matter where you go, even if you are an entrepreneur. The next thing, say yes to internship. One of the big reasons is they pay you good money and they give you an office with a computer. And you got lots of people that you can talk to, and you get to ask a lot of questions from people in the industry. So it's a really good opportunity for you to get a feel about, what your job will be like. And if you are an intern, they don't really care. They help you, and they really help you to have a good time. So definitely yes for internship. The next thing, I already talked a little bit, don't be complacent. It's really, really important. Working so many years at IBM, I don't know if you have worked in an industry, you know that when you get into a position, they make you the expert of something, that particular thing that you're working on. Like for example, Pixar, right? The movie animation company. They have these artists that are specialized in drawing grasses. You know, you get pigeonholed on something, but you really don't want to get too comfortable at a position. You always want to learn what is the latest and newest thing. Not because you may need to work on it, but so that you know what people are talking about, right? Like right now, today I learned something from Sam. You know, what you share on the internet. You know, you always want to learn new things, and always want to challenge yourself, and always find a job and a position that make you essential. And that is really important. Why essential is the key. So many years ago, when we had this new CEO, one of the key words he told us was that you want to be essential. Because IBM as a company need to be essential too. So otherwise we will not have any more, no clients, right? So find a place, find some place for you to build your skills and become essential. The next thing is make work for you and define your own career. You know, you can listen to many different people talking about their career, but it's their experience. What you have to do is to build your own path, right? You may make different decisions, and it's all okay. You know, you can choose company A or company B, and you just have to, you know, remember to work hard and learn new skills. And so wherever you go, you're gonna be okay. And you know, if you get bored at work, what are you gonna do? You're gonna get bored, right? Look for other opportunities. You know, go to conferences and learn new things. Talk to people, right? You know, write your own pattern, whatever that make you feel happy about. So next thing, network, attend technical conferences, meet up, even though you don't know why you want to go, but you figure it out. It's, you know, different, it can mean different things for different people. So, you know, try it out. If it's not for you, then you don't have to do it. So the next thing, very, very important, finding your mentors and sponsors. So sponsors, a lot of people don't know what that is. Anyone watch Hunger Games? Hunger Games?
Yeah.
In Hunger Games, there are sponsors of those kids that fight, right? So sponsors help them to defeat other people. So in career, sponsors is like someone higher up in the company that can help you grow your career. This person say, oh, he's really good. You should pay attention to him. So this is the difference between a sponsor and a mentor. A mentor can give you day-to-day advice. Your professor can be your mentor. You know, your peer can be your mentor. Or other people in the company can be your mentor. To talk about problems that you may have, decisions that you may need to make, or just have a cup of coffee, right? So talk about life. So these mentors, for me, is anyone that I can talk to that would teach me something I don't know. So I always find people that, you know, that are mostly more experienced than me and just answer my question. All you need to do is to knock on their door and say, hey, I have a question. Can I just, you know, can I have a few minutes to talk to you? And so the next thing, willing to take on new roles and expand your horizon. Again, don't be too comfortable where you are. In your jobs, you may have, there may be more different opportunities coming up beyond your job role that you can take part in, and all of those little experience will help you along the way, even though it may not help you immediately. It may help you along the way. So next thing, be a good team player. Why is this so important? Because we all work on projects as a team, and we all have different strengths. It's really hard to find someone that knows everything and be good at everything, right? So be a good team player, you collaborate, you build dream team, and then you can succeed as a team, right? So I really like this point to be a good team player. The next thing, subject matter expert. Subject matter expert is the person that people go to and ask questions. I have this question, who do I go talk to? You want to be the person that people come and ask you questions, because then you're building your brand, right? So then you become more essential, right? So all these things are connected. Last thing is very important. Protect your reputation with your life. Your reputation and your identity, right, in today's life. So why is this so important? In technology, it's a big world, but it's a very small world. If you burn too many bridges, people would know, right? And if you go and look for a new job, you need a recommendation from your old team. So, and then people talk to each other, and so you want to be someone that everyone's saying, oh, he's good. You should hire him, but not be the person saying, oh, he doesn't do any work, he doesn't know what he's talking about, right? So this is really trivial, but to keep a good reputation, again, you have to work hard, right? So all of these things, they are related. Okay, so the next thing I want to touch a little bit is, in technology, there are many different types of jobs that you may not know about. There are many technical work, like a software engineer, less technical, but require more communication, technical writing, people skills, like testing or technical support. And then there are these solution architects that goes to the customer and learn about their requirements, and then can build the architecture of a solution, different types of software put together, software and hardware put together and build a solution. So very important, solution architect. Product manager or offering managers, they are more they are more on the business side. They go to the client and show the client the products, and then get feedback about what are the enhancements the products could be. So again, people skills, presentation skills, technical writing skills. Project managers, very, very crucial in the team. Project managers make sure that the projects are done in the right way at the right time. And without project manager, everyone's just gonna, like wild cats running around. So they are like herding the cats. So very challenging work, and there are certificates that you can take. people manager, everyone knows people managers, not only that they need to manage projects, they also need to work with one-on-one employees to help them grow, so help them solve problems. So then these last two are more sales, marketing, client-facing job roles. So there are also still others that I have not listed, like technical writing, curriculum developer. So there are lots of opportunities in the, yes.
I just want to know, what is front end and back end?
Ah. So yeah, also front end is like what people see on the computer, right? You have a client on the computer, like if it's a browser-based application, what client sees front end. Most of the time is done with JavaScript, and there is always a middle tier. Not always, most of them do. And then there is a backend. Backend could be a database, could be Watson, so the front end, the user can enter information, submit a request, and then channel to the backend to do the calculation, and then send the information back to the front. Does that help? Okay, cool. Oh, okay. So this is not a prioritized list. I just put it down as I think of. What are the skills that that companies want? Business writing and communication. Very important especially when I became technical support. I had to spend a lot of time correcting my English, because when I'm programming, I don't need to care. I just need to grammatically correct in program. But when I have to explain things to customer, I have to make sure that they know what I'm talking about, and that my English is not too embarrassing. So that's why I thought business writing skills is. I found some business communication classes in City College or San Francisco State or Berkeley. They're all, you should just check them out. Communication skills, the class that I took in UC Berkeley is that class that we actually need to do a few presentations. And so I found really useful. So project management classes, like I told you, there are certifications that you can take from different schools. Along with, so within project management, you also need to learn leadership skills. It's really important when you are project manager, because you're not a people manager of the people that you work with, but you need them to get the work done. So how are you going to do that? And that's why leadership skill is so important. And those things you cannot learn overnight. You have to struggle. You can't be, sometimes you can be too nice to people, but you cannot be too mean. So it's a really, really difficult balance that you learn over time. Of course, project management is all about organization. If the schedules shift, they have to shift the different deliverables. So very interesting if you are a good organizing person. So of course, technical skills, yeah.
So it's PMP.
Yeah.
How, I guess it's very valuable. It kind of depends. Just get you the project.
PMP is very important to become a project manager, but in order to become a project manager, you also need some experience managing projects. right? So also MBAs, there are some PM classes for MBA. So yeah, the degree. But I would say if you are into, just try. So what I do is I create my own projects in my team. I said, I'm going to create this project to solve this problem. And I'm going to get this person to help me. So then I'm the project manager. So I can put this in my resume. And actually, I actually did that, which is really fun. So again, PMP, very good to have, but at the same time, look for opportunities to run your own project. It doesn't have to be given by your manager. It could be something that you think, oh, this is something we need. Let's do that. That's another leadership skill. Okay, technical skills, if you are a technical person, I think the order is not very good, but again, JavaScript is front end, Python is more back end, Shell script is back end, Java both. So pick your strength. So I would say for AI, because we have to deal with a lot of data, Python is really good to learn, and it's if you are already pretty technical, it's not hard. So I highly recommend it. Question?
Is it kind of like C?
No, Python is more like a scripting language, more like JavaScript or Shell script, but it has a lot of libraries that you can use for data science specifically. So.
Oh, you guys pretty much in Python 3? Or
Python 3.
Is Python 2? I mean, there's still a huge amount of libraries in Python 2.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how do you deal with that?
Either one. Python 3 is probably more for data science. Yeah.
So you recommend example Python online classes?
I do recommend it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You try. You only have one language, that's one story.
That's the one start.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Problem solving skills and troubleshooting skills. You don't have to, sometimes you don't have to be too technical, but you need to like to solve problems. You know, I mean, for me, that's what I think. Why is this problem happening? And how do we solve it? And that is what I learned to be a really good skill to have. You want to have a can-do attitude and be persistent, right? You cannot solve a problem right away. Go out and take a walk and think about it. Get some fresh air and come back and you may be able to solve it. So just the last thing to do is to give up. You can still give up, but try, right? So I think these are, it helped me. Hi, so resumes. I'm still learning about resumes. They're now saying that you should not put more than 5 years of experience on your resume. So just put whatever that is relevant for the job that you're looking for. Talk about which job you're applying for, right? And then highlight your qualifications relating to the job. And then list the relevant skills. And then if you don't have a lot of relevant skills because you're a student, then write about the classes that you took, right? List relevant job experiences that you have. You know, if you have worked in a computer lab or you had an internship, you know, good things to put on the resume. What are the projects that you have done as a group, whether it's a school project or at work, Also, very importantly, when being asked, you need to articulate what the project is and which part do you take, right? What do you do with the project? You know, what is your contribution for the project? Okay, so the other thing, very important, I mean, I didn't know before, but it turns out that if you get any awards, any accomplishments, always good to put on your resume. So use words that are impactful, right? Impact words. You know, you drive a project, you lead a project, you lead these people to accomplish something, you improve certain things, you take ownership. So these are, you know, useful words to put on your resume because you want to differentiate yourself from other people, right? So these are the catchy words, and hopefully they are true too. Anyway, do you have any questions? Good. Okay. Interview. Okay. So first thing about interview is you need to be prepared, right? If you're applying for a technical job, it's really good to learn about what you learn in school and be refreshed. And also, it's helpful to practice with someone that is already at the job, or your friend or your relatives. So for the first point, there are, you know, if you Google interview questions, there are some, you know, pretty helpful problems that you can solve. Just be as prepared as you can. The second one is my personal advice, actually. It's okay if you don't get the first few jobs because, you know, there are a lot of people applying and there are lots of restrictions in the company that you may not know about. It may not be your fault, so try not to blame yourself too much. Just keep trying, and then the next time you will be more prepared, right? So also the other thing that I found is very important is when you're talking to the interviewers, find out how they are. What are these people? You know, are these people whom I want to work with? You know, is this a manager that I would like to work for? So a lot of times we got very wrapped up on interview, answering questions, but observe the interviewer and see, you know, whether they are someone that you would want to work with. Be confident, right, about yourself. Because if you're not confident about yourself, how can others be confident about you, right? So the first thing you walk in to an interview is to say, I can do it. Otherwise, people are not going to give you the job, right, if you question about your ability. And then tell them what you can bring to the team, right? Because everyone knows that there is no perfect candidate. We have a candidate that has 80% or 60%. We want to find out if he can learn that 30% or 40%, right? So how fast he can learn. So it's okay if you don't know everything, but just show them you can learn fast and you can adapt to the team. And I think these are really the key things because companies need people, right? And it's really hard to find the right person for the jobs. So you just do your thing and be prepared, and you know, everything else is just gonna work out. And do I have time? Too many. Okay, I don't want to. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, the future of jobs. So first thing, if you want to get a higher degree, go for it, right? Education is, what you have, and then nobody can steal from you. And then it will enable you to learn new things. So higher education, master's degree, PhD, definitely good to have if you are up for it. And then I would say, be prepared to use tools that are available for you to be better at your work, right? Because like when I was graduating, spreadsheet or Microsoft Word is like the latest and greatest thing. But now we're talking about AI.
Do you see a lot of people with your peers getting their masters, or is that something that's just not really that an interest for people these days? Is it just like on-the-job work, you're learning quicker, why bother getting the masters? What's the benefit of it, really?
So, very interesting question. I do see people going back to school and getting their masters, and even a lot of times when we think about master's degree is when I want to change my career. I want to do something else. If you are a technical person, I want to be a manager, right? Or if you are a manager, I want to be a VP, right? So the higher education, or I do see, like even at my work, I have a lot of people that has an undergraduate that is not in computer science, but then their masters are in computer science. Their undergrad could be psychology or physical therapy. One of my managers before, she was a physical therapist, and then she got too depressed helping patients. So she got a master's in computer, and then she worked really well. And so it's really a lot of things is your personal choice, and also when you contemplate about what I want to do my next career, what is the degree that can help you to achieve that, right? Like if you want to be a PM and you don't want to just get a certificate, you can get an MBA, right? A lot of people go with that. And then, for example, if I need to learn about AI, so I probably need to get a PhD and learn about AI, right? So it's the study, the classes that you're taking that counts, right? And then you accumulate all these classes, then you might as well get a degree, right? So at IBM, there is something called a New Collar Initiative. So what it is about is IBM said you don't really need a degree to come work for us. You just need the skills that we're looking for. And some of the skills are programming, project management, and I actually have a website that you can go to look at that, because we all know that education is pretty expensive, right? And not everyone can afford it. So it's really good that IBM provide the New Collar Initiative for you to have an option to maybe you can work at the same time and working on your degree, and then there's the apprenticeship that would allow you, when you have the skills, to work with us so that you can learn at the same time when you're contributing, right, to the team. And I have websites for you to look at. And believe it or not, all you need to do is to go apply. So a lot of people were asking me, are you guys looking for people? How do I find a job? For me, the best way to look for jobs is to go to the company that you want to work for and send in the resume. So there's really not much secret, hopefully. Anyway, so finally, some other thoughts to share. First of all, it's really important to be socially conscious, right? Whatever you do, especially if you're empowered with all these tools, you need to be responsible what you're doing. Second, very good to volunteer and give back to the community. I remember when I first graduated from state, I was talking to one of my mentors as son at the time, and I'm like, I don't know what to do next. I have my degree, I have a job that, I'm making money. Now I have no aim. And then one of the things that he told me was to go volunteer, to give back to people, to the community, to help others, right? Whatever volunteering job that works for you, right? You don't have to do a particular thing, beach cleaning or working with the homeless. It could be anything that you find interest. Very important, learn new things on your spare time and then enrich yourself, because work is work, right? How are you going to make yourself more interesting, right? So you can do different things, right, to enrich your life so that you're happier with your life and your work. So the next thing, change could be uncomfortable, but it's okay. The economy goes up and down. When I first graduated, people asked me what I do. I said I'm a software engineer, and they were like, "Oh, you're gonna make a lot of money." And then, and then after a few years, in the economy downturn, the bubbles burst, and then people asked me what I do, and I said I'm a software engineer, and they're like, "Oh, I feel so sorry for you. Do you have a job?" And then it comes back, the economy comes back, and then people are like, "Oh, are you a millionaire?" So it's okay. Even if you lose your job, it's okay. As long as you have the capabilities, right? Your degrees, your skills, you will be able to find a job, right? You have to be persistent. Okay. Okay, the last one, I don't know if you can see, when in doubt, ask for help. It could be anyone, right? Your friends, your colleagues, someone you met in the meetup. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask for help, because we've been there and we are beneficiaries to other people's help. So we are more than happy to help others as well. So if you don't ask the question, nobody will know that you have the question, right? One of the things that I really hate people say is, I would say, "Oh, you didn't tell me this. I didn't know about this." And people would tell me, "Well, you didn't ask." And I'm like, that's true, right? If I don't ask, nobody will know that I don't know. So the last thing, if you have questions, definitely ask for help. You may not necessarily need to take the advice, but it helps you to make a decision, right? So okay, so here are some of the links. The first few are what I talked about, some of the websites about Watson Health, and the last two, the next two are the new collar jobs. IBM Developer Works has a lot of um, articles about different technologies that you can just learn about. And then the last one is where I got my title from. So don't panic. That's from Hitchhiker's Guide. Question? Yes.
The problem with volunteering is usually unpaid.
Yes.
But on the other side, you look at a resume.
Well, one thing that you may want to think about is your volunteer job may lead you to the job, right?
But that's a
You
big
may
if.
start to be a
But
volunteer.
that's a big if. That's a big if.
You have to network when you're on volunteer programs. Talk to
Right.
other people.
Yeah, so there may be a job open up at the place that you volunteer, right? Then you are the first one in line. You're doubtful.
That is if you want the job too.
That's true. Well, you want to volunteer at wherever you're interested in. I mean, hopefully. Because I actually did different type of volunteering. When I was at IBM in Austin, I was really bored at work. So I volunteered at the library, and then they asked me to stock books, and I was totally bored. So you're gonna learn what is good for you and what is not good when you are at the job, right? You'll figure it out, what kind of work. But there are times when you purely just want to help people, right? Or you may want to help the environment. So definitely, if you want to find a job that is paid, internship is the place to go.
But there's sort of like you could get used. You could get low pay. Sort of like bored.
Well, at the same time, they are teaching you a lot, right?
That's what they're teaching you right.
Well, what is right?
So right to them is like what they believe.
Well, worst case scenario, you have something. First, you have a little bit of income, right? And then, like for me, when I was in school, I did internship in the summer. I was like so excited because they gave me a whiteboard to write on, a computer, office mate to talk to, and then I got to participate in all of the activities. And then I got to talk to different engineers. I just knock on people's door and say, "Hey, where's your patent from? And how do you get a patent?" You just ask different kind of questions, and people are there. It's an exposure, right? It's really up to you. This is my own personal experience. I'm sure everyone can have your own path, and it can't be wrong. Just make sure to be ethical. Any other question?
Do you make Watson about language translator or something?
Yes. Yeah, we have Watson for Education that helps teachers from K to 12, or we also have a Watson that help admissions, college admission, help students to make decisions about which classes to take and things like that. So again, all these are customized for specific need for the institution. So language, Watson I think the first language Watson learned was Japanese, because Japanese were really into robots, and they want robots can talk. Yeah, and then I think Watson was learning to become a doctor, so they are teaching Watson medicine and getting the degree or something. So yeah, again, it's digesting a lot of natural language text and make meanings out of it and being able to assist people. in many different ways. Other questions?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, sure.
And I just want to say one thing administratively. This, you do get a grade here, so make sure and put your name on that list. And this class, for some reason, has midterm grades this semester, which it has not in the past. So they're up here, and you're proceeding through some sort of normal procedure. So if you don't have a good midterm grade, you have to do something to make it up. You can go to other events, like meetups and civic IT and training events. Yeah, RSA would be fine. Something like that. So, check your grade, let me know what's going on. And if you went to a previous talk and somehow it was not recorded, let me know. Anyway, we got 2 more talks coming, and that's it for this semester. So those are the days for them.
Anyway, like our last 4 numbers?
Yes, the last 4 numbers of your student ID. Yeah. All right. I'm going to stop the remote.
Oh.
I'll do exactly next.